with their daughter and shared this. Nicole has such a big heart and she works so hard at everything she does. Congratulations, Nicole.
Congratulations, thank you.
Petaluma Junior High School selected Nathan Long as the November Student of the Month.
Now Nathan gets to be the first one that gets to endure this. Right here, buddy. Okay? Right there.
I just stare at the camera?
Yes. It's very awkward. Very, very awkward. We understand. It's the only joy we get. Now, come on.
Bright, hardworking, and dependable, Nathan Long has been selected as Petaluma Junior High School's Student of the Month for November 2013. Nathan is admired by his teachers for his leadership role in the classroom. He is an eager, active, and willing participant in academic discussion. He asks inspiring questions that help his peers think and find the correct answers. They also noted that Nathan wants to achieve, always takes the initiative, and makes the extra effort. He produces excellent work and exhibits a genuine respect for his peers and teachers. He is a pleasure to have in the classroom. Nathan's success at PJHS has been impressive. He has earned both Gold Renaissance Awards and membership the past 2 semesters on the Principal's Honor Roll for maintaining a 4.0 GPA. He continues to challenge himself this year by taking geometry as part of a rigorous 8th grade curriculum. Nathan also adds some fun to his academics with participation on the PJHS Math Olympiads team. Outside of school, Nathan enjoys playing video games and spending time with family and friends. He also keeps himself busy by playing in various sports. He attends a baseball camp at Rancho Cotati High School, a tennis program at the Pre-Academy at La Cantera, and he plays CYO basketball. Nathan has some clear goals ahead. With high school in front of him, he plans to get a 4.0 GPA this year and to make the high school baseball team next year. Nathan's hope is to eventually study accounting at the college level. Nathan's parents commented, "We are proud of Nathan, not just because of what he has accomplished, but more importantly because of the person he is and the person he is becoming." Congratulations, Nathan.
Very good job. Sorry to make you the first. Nathan's family?
I think Bjorn's write-up came in.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize to the board. Sometimes I wish I could clone myself. I apologize to Bjorn's family, my student representatives.
Well, let's get Bjorn back up here.
Thank you.
We'll get the camera, sorry. Mixed pleasure.
All right, Kenilworth Junior High is pleased to introduce the November Student of the Month, Bjorn. Bjorn has been nominated by his team of teachers for several reasons. Ms. Galdamez, Bjorn's Spanish teacher, says Bjorn is kind to his teachers and fellow students. He is quietly motivated to do well academically and is always willing to help others. Bjorn is the kind of student who is calm, consistent, and reliable in his dedication and hard work. He is a pleasure to have in class. I look forward to seeing him and where he goes in his life. Mr. Ryan, Bjorn's history teacher, has this to say. I love Bjorn. He is a well-working student with everyone, and everyone wants to be his partner. He understands difficult concepts easily and always checks to see if he has completed every element of the task. He is aware of his role within the classroom, and he is able to see the larger picture of his education. At KJHS, Bjorn's favorite class are Mr. Raya's U.S. History class and Mr. Raya's English class. He loves how Mr. Raya makes history interesting and how Mr. Raya makes English fun. When he's not at school, Bjorn can be found playing sports, wrestling and track, or doing mixed martial arts. Bjorn's parents are very proud of him and his award for Student of the Month. His father sees him as incredibly resilient and unbelievably stubborn, but in a good way. He will not stop at something until he gets it right. Congratulations, Bjorn.
And thank you again, family.
Jessica Sandoval, and I'm co-ASB president for the 2013-2014. And today we'd like to congratulate Carol Tang as one of our November Students of the Month.
Congratulations. Saw the deal, right?
Carol Tang is an empathetic and dedicated student. For all of high school, she has been part of church youth groups as well as Casa Grande's Jesus Club. She was part of Tomorrow's Leaders of Today, Sonoma County's leadership program last year, and is a member of Friday Night Live, a national club opposing substance abuse. This past summer, she attended COSMOS, California State Summer School for Mathematics and Science at UC Davis, and wrote a research paper on possible ways to increase superconductors' temperature. She completed the Certificate of Music in Piano Level 9 sophomore year and plans to test for the final level in college. Academically, she has challenged herself with AP and honors courses whenever available and is an AP scholar with distinction. She was also given the Harold Mahoney Top 10 Award for sophomore and junior years. In addition to her advanced classes, she is part of Casa Grande's academic decathlon team, winning a bronze in math at regionals last year. She loves reading. She loves to read, write, draw, play piano, and learn languages. Carol plans to go into computer science and pursue art on the other side. Congratulations, Carol.
Hello.
And Carol's family.
Hello, my name is Miles. I'm a co-SB president for Casa Grande, and we'd like to bring up Danny Del Cerro for November Student of the Month. Danny is a great kid. He enjoys listening to music and playing soccer for fun with his friends on the weekend. He goes to San Jose Junior College and learns German and currently taking AP French 4 at Casa Grande. He also speaks Spanish at home and learns English too. He plans to go to college and has applied to many colleges within the UC system, as well as the University of Chicago. He hasn't decided which college he wants to go to, but plans to study engineering and economics in college next year. Congratulations, Danny.
All right, how about Petaluma High School?
Hello everyone, my name is Molly Okura. I'm Senior Class Vice President at Petaluma High School. First, I would like to introduce to you our November Student of the Month, Cara Grant. Cara Grant is November's Student of the Month. Not only does she have a great grade point average, but she is also involved in Petaluma High School in many different ways. She has played on the tennis team for the past 2 years and has been involved in ASB for 3 years. This year, she has the honor to be the student body president for Petaluma High. When Cara is not doing homework or carrying out her presidential duties, she is hanging out with her family and friends. Cara plans to attend a 4-year university at the end of high school and study nursing to become a neonatal ICU nurse. Congratulations.
Family look at yours now, girl?
Next, I would like to introduce to you our November Student of the Month, Nico Respeto.
Congratulations.
second year of varsity football and his 4th year overall. He has also been on the Petaluma varsity club lacrosse team since his freshman year. Currently, he is in the top 7% of his class academically. Club-wise, Nico is involved with the Safe School Ambassadors, the California Scholarship Federation, and Trojan True. Nico also is this year's ASB treasurer and is in his 2nd year of leadership. He wants to be known as a leader and wants to be an example for others to follow. He takes pride in being a Trojan and will continue to do his best to represent Petaluma High School to the greatest extent.
Nico's family? Well, that is by far the most fun that we have this evening. Not that the rest of this isn't very exciting, because it is. But that is always a highlight of our evening. Congratulations to all of you who are here tonight. As I say generally every month, and I can't do the air math on it, but there are 8 or 9 of you tonight. There's 7,500 students. So that's something pretty special when you're singled out like that. Sometime by the end of the year, we'll have your name up here on the board, the Wall of Fame, for Students of the Month. Those that are in the 8th grade, I'd like you to take note that there's not a significant number of repeat offenders, if you will. So you've got an opportunity to come back and show me up and tell me I'm wrong. In 4 years, I hope to see you here again. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much. We have a student report, I think, from Petaluma. And then after that student report, we'll break. And those of you that need to go home and do a little homework or have some dinner, we'll let you go. So come on up and wow us.
Hello, my name is Cara Grant, and I am the ASB president for Petaluma High School. Over the past couple of months, Petaluma High School has been busy putting on various events. One of our biggest events was homecoming, which included a homecoming parade, the homecoming game, and ending with a very successful dance. The homecoming parade was a chance for each class to represent a different decade, which coincided with our theme, Dancing Through the Decades. Our FFA chapter participated as well. The parade ran around downtown Petaluma and allowed the community to come out and see the work of Petaluma High School. All the floats looked terrific, and although we were all winners, the juniors took the prize for the best overall float. Following the parade, we had our homecoming football game. Both the JV and varsity teams won, which gave us a great start to a great weekend. To finish off the homecoming festivities, we had our homecoming dance. We had over 500 students attend. Not only have the festivities continued at Petaluma High School, but so have the victories in sports. Petaluma High's very own golf team just got back from the SCL tournament, where we won 3rd place, and we also advanced 2 of our players, Sarah Jane Catarazzoli and Ivy Lee, to the next level NCS. Not only has the golf team been above par, but the girls tennis team is this year's SCL champions. Our very own Maddie Thomas took first for singles SCL, and Hannah Sloth and Sophia Murphy took second for SCL doubles. Now they are currently in the SCS tournament. Also, our girls soccer team is tied for first. They had their first playoff game this past Saturday and unfortunately lost to Cardinal Newman. Our cross-country team competed in the SCL tournament on Saturday and did us proud. Although the varsity boys did not win, our very own senior Casey Kramer got first place and the varsity girls got 3rd place. Football, on the other hand, has proven that they will not be giving up without a fight. On senior night this last Friday, we were able to beat Sonoma and push our way into playoffs. We will be playing Annalee this Friday. Not only has our school been bringing victories home, but our teams have been raising awareness about breast cancer. Our very own volleyball team decided to hold an event that was a fundraiser for the Suzanne G. Komen Foundation. Our Petaluma High School teams have made us proud, and we look forward to many more victories to come. A new idea that our Commissioner of Athletics is coming up with is Student of the Season. This idea is to pick 1 female and 1 male from the sports during that particular sports season. The students that are chosen will not only be exemplary athletes, but they will also be exemplary students. Another thing that has brightened up our school was our Halloween parade that we put on at lunch for our students to display their costumes. From funny costumes to horrifying costumes, this year's parade had a great deal of participation. Also, the Children Connections, which is our advisory period, has continued to meet on topics like cyberbullying and holiday traditions. In upcoming events, Petaluma High School is getting ready for the second annual Rowdy Ruck Volleyball Tournament. This tournament is between a team of guys from each class who battle in volleyball to see who are the better volleyball players. We will have our volleyball girls coach the boys, and then we end the tournament with the winners playing the teachers. We started this tradition last year, and it is a huge hit. In December, we have our annual holiday cheer drive. This is a can and clothing drive for the families that need a little help around the holidays. Petaluma's goal for this year is to raise at least $1 from each student, resulting in $1,300 for our community. We also have our holiday market in December. This is an event where students get the opportunity to sell baked goods and other trinkets for our students or parents to enjoy. Also, next Wednesday, November 20th, we will present a program showcasing some of our core and elective programs in the gym from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The purpose of this is to share great things going on at PHS, and all are welcome. Petaluma High is proud of our accomplishments, and we look forward to even more successes in the upcoming months. Thank you.
Alrighty, as promised, we're going to take a 60-second break. We would love to have you all stay. You're welcome to stay. You're encouraged to stay. We understand if you feel like you might have something different to do. So, 60 seconds. All right, if we could reconvene, please. Do we have everybody? Moving over to item 8, comments from the public. I have 3 speaker cards. Do I have any other cards coming my way? Is this all 3 of them? This looks like it. Randomly, Kim, you are on top. So Kim, let's start with you.
Okay. First you call me when I'm not.
I'm not going to read for the benefit of all 3 of you. I know that you've spoken here before, so I'm not going to read our public and comment rules, regulations, and such.
Unless you want to.
I don't. That's why I'm not going to. Absolutely don't. So there we go.
So good evening. I'm Kim Sharp, President of Petaluma Federation of Teachers. And tonight, as the ratified tentative agreement is brought to you, please be assured of the Federation's willingness to move forward on these matters. That willingness, however, does not negate the important issues still facing our teachers and students that need attention, like the Aries grading program and extended day kindergarten. I would like to thank both Sherry and Mike for their visit to Casa Grande High School last Friday. I am so encouraged that not only did they visit classrooms to see the wonderful teaching and learning that happens every day, but that they gave their time to Sarah Baj and her Aries concerns and presentation. Sorry, I ran to get my packet. Didn't realize I was going first. That teachers, administrators, and school board members take the time to collaboratively work on vital issues together gives me hope that our shared decision-making process is not fully broken or gone, as some may be talking about right now. I again call on you tonight to join the Federation in rebuilding the trust that has so defined our district for so many years, through shared decision-making, through conversation and thoughtful debates, through consistent collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Mr. McGavitt?
Thank you. Got my own timer this time, so I'll turn on my 5 minutes starting now. What I'm going to read for you is part of an email that I sent to you recently this week. I have sent you, the school board, many emails over the summer, and I've received exactly 0 responses. And I'm here to talk about, the topic of my talk tonight is how I presented very important information about the health and safety inside of our classrooms, and how the board, the principals, and the superintendent have taken no credible action to evaluate the safety and address the problem. I worked over the summer with the FCC and OSHA to actually get agreement on how to calculate the total amount of radio frequency radiation that actually comes into our classrooms every day. You are familiar with this slide because you all received it more than once. And what I'm going to share you is that we have a federal guideline of 10 million microwatts per meter squared. That's a very, very high number. And the issue that we have is when you accumulate the total amount of radiation that comes off of one wireless access point in one kindergarten room where it is not used at all for the student's education, the total is 75.6 million microjoules per meter squared. That's 7.5 times the federal standard every day of the classroom year. This is one kindergarten room in Valley Vista. This was measured on August 22nd in the presence of the school principal, with her permission, with a meter that I have gotten training to how to use. I'm an expert in knowing how to use the meter, how to interpret the results, and then how to make these calculations. These calculations were done in concert with the Federal Communications Commission and with OSHA, federal OSHA. I worked with Jeffrey Lodwick and Edwin Mantiply. I have agreement in writing about what these totals are and what they mean. The bottom line is, these are numbers that you have to deal with. You can't just push this under the carpet. These are very large numbers, and this is actually a danger to our children. And I have been attempting to notice the public about this problem, and I'm running into harassment from the superintendent of this school district. So I have asked Mr. Bowman, in my emails it starts off, you're once again trying to restrict the freedom of speech of a parent who is acting responsibly and lawfully. You do not have the right to do this, and I'm asking you to stop harassing me. From this point forward, I want to act lawfully to put into people's hands this information so that they then can come to you and say, please, protect our children. They don't need this level of radio frequency electromagnetic radiation in their classroom, particularly in 2 kindergarten classrooms I know of where they don't use it at all. The students don't use it for their education. We've been assured by both principals they will not use it for their education. It is a completely insensitive thing to not address this problem. How simple is the solution? Totally simple. You turn off the wireless access point. It's not needed. It's not important for their education. It doesn't help their educational goals whatsoever. Please don't put this amount of radiation on our sensitive 5- and 6-year-old students. It damages them. I have scientific results that I have shared with this district since February of last year that they have completely ignored. This board, this superintendent, all of the principals have completely blown off this issue. In May, when you voted for your technology plan, I heard Sherry say to these folks over here, we should do something seriously about the safety of our plan. I can go back and listen to the tape. I asked you in emails, where are we on the safety section in the plan? Nothing. Zero. Bupkis. It's irresponsible to not take any action. It is irresponsible to not participate in any debate. It's irresponsible not to actually do a safety check. Mr. Bowman had an opportunity to do a radio frequency electromagnetic field study, and I was encouraging him to do it for months and months and months prior to my daughter starting school. He declined not to do so. I have the evidence and I shared it with you. What he ordered instead was a magnetic field study, which has nothing to do with radio frequency electromagnetic fields. They're completely 2 separate phenomena. And I said, well, geez, that's like giving humidity readings to someone who wants temperature readings. What's the point? Well, I learned on November 6th. I made a 1-hour presentation to Cherry Valley, and I heard the principals say to the parents, we had our insurance company analyze this, and they said it was safe. Without pointing out the obvious deception. The insurance company themselves said it wasn't an RF EMF study. It was a magnetic field study. We need an RF EMF field study. We need to actually make it safe for our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McGavin. Next up, Lisa Badley.
Hi, I'm Lisa Badley. I live at 106 Flavia Drive. And I am here because I'd like to talk about renting out the field at Petaluma High School. As we all know, Petaluma doesn't have very many fields. None of the sports teams are allowed to practice on our field, on our football field. So what happened this year, this summer, was I believe there was a women's soccer league that played during, I don't know when it was, and they left the goals up. So everybody after work, on the weekends, came out and played on the field. So when we actually started, the very beginning of the soccer season, football season, the field was already worn down. And usually it's in beautiful shape the first time. And we were so lucky this year in the sense we only had one day of rain, I think in September, a little bit. And so we really have had and the field right now is in terrible shape. People are slipping and sliding. There's like no grass in the center whatsoever. So I wanted to hopefully maybe ask all of you to think about possibly, maybe this isn't a way we get some revenue. I know we need to lend it out to people because that's a good thing to do, being, neighbors of everyone and whatnot. But we are really limited. We don't have the field space that CASA does, and we have 3 fields. And so I'm hoping that something can happen, or whether that money that you do get from them can be put right back into turf or something to fix it up. But it was in very, very bad shape at the very beginning of the year. The second thing I wanted to ask about is we have a problem with people loving to come to Petaluma High School and other schools and run their dogs. And I know there's no off-leash. I pull over all the time and tell people, there's no off-leash, dogs off-leash on any school property. And, oh no, the school said I could come over here. I go, I know the school didn't say that, so you need to leave. I've seen, they don't pick up after themselves, they dig holes. I've seen a dog pee on the football sled, and the boys were gonna play that, practice that afternoon. So I was hoping we could get some new signs up, because there's hardly any signs, and the ones that are there have been spray painted over or scratched out. So that was my second thing, but really it's mostly it's the overall integrity of the fields. So that's it. That's all. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Seeing no more other cards, comments from the public are closed. Let's go ahead and move to item I, reports and activities and correspondence to school board members. Kenwood Junior High School Drug Dog Assembly. Who went to that? I want to hear about that. Let me get through this, and if we can circle back around, if that's okay. The CASA site visit, Girls on the Run volunteered for a 5K race, field trip with the alt-ed schools to the movies. NCS soccer games, football games, district leadership team meeting review, LC, help.
Oh, yeah, that was the, okay, so last time I reviewed the Sonoma County Office of Education workshop that we had for the local control funding formula and the local control accountability plan. And then last week had our first, another district leadership team meeting with staff and parents. Oh. And it went very well, and we'll have another one the first Tuesday of December, but it's a big deal, and there seems to be a lot of enthusiasm, and want to get the information out to the public that this group is going to be putting together the accountability plan that the district will use and send to the state. It's a good start.
Very good. Tell us about the assembly.
Oh, it was uneventful.
Well, it was uneventful,
You didn't get to see a dog take someone down.
No. But it was instructive because they showed the kids basically how skilled and qualified these dogs are. It really was more about how the dog was trained, from birth on up. So it educated about the dog, and I agree with Sherry. They had one demonstration where kind of sniffed out a trace amount of, I think it was marijuana in a backpack. But I think the overall message there was the kids was, this dog could smell anything, so don't have anything on you. But I don't know that they got that, because it wasn't a scare tactic thing. It was kind of like, ask questions at Q&A regarding, and they asked all kinds of questions really about the trainer and the dog. And it was just about that relationship. And they didn't really get into, this dog, you may see it again under different circumstances. They really didn't talk about that. They just let the kids see what the dog could do in a real sterile setting.
Do you know, do we have any more of those scheduled, Steve?
I'm not sure if there's any more scheduled at this time. They've been to San Antonio, Kenilworth, and I know they're working on trying to get into
The two high schools are working on it, but we haven't.
The two high schools,
I just talked to Linda and she said the same thing.
Okay.
Working to try to find the right dates.
Great. I'd like to see one of those.
I guess,
Well, you will, your car's the first one we're sniffing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it'd be fun this time. It would be
We're looking for
fun.
cash.
There you go.
Yeah, it would be fun to plant you in the audience with something in your pockets
That'd
and
be
say,
good.
"To this time.
Oh, yeah, that'd be real good for your reputation.
Our ideas of fun might be a little different.
Yeah.
I think the thing with the dog, they said the dog wasn't used to being around such huge
I can imagine.
crowds. And yeah, and so they didn't want any sudden movements, they didn't want anyone coming down out of that, so it was kind of quiet and calm. Which is good though, I mean.
Yeah.
The entire student body being calm was kind of nice to watch.
Yeah, probably, right?
Very nice.
And there's an educational component to this weekend, I did have some correspondence. I spoke with Steve briefly about this. I don't know that anybody else got this. And this is from the Twin Hills School District. Did anybody else get a letter? This came to me actually by mail. And I'd like to get it on the agenda. I think it's worthy of our consideration. And it's a request that, basically it's a request for a resolution asking the Sonoma County Agricultural Commission and the County Board of Supervisors to consider the adoption of some type of school protection zone around the use of pesticides in agriculture use. It doesn't really affect us as best I can tell. I think we have one school that borders a vineyard. I think that would be Kenilworth. And I did actually talk to Emily over there, and they have much of an issue, but they've asked, this little school district in Sebastopol has asked the school districts in the county if we would consider a resolution, look into the county boards. To Mike's point of, the appropriate agency should be the ones dealing with these kinds of things, and, the county department, or what's it called, county agriculture department, or, not sure what they call it, and the county board of supervisors to consider some type of a regulation. So if I could just pass this down. And have a draft resolution. I just think it's something worthy of us talking about
Conversation,
down the road. So, and that was the only correspondence I had, unless anybody has anything else. No? Okay, and we will move along to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That one went pretty quick. Okay, item number 3, old item, proposed appendix to collective bargaining agreement. Recommend a motion that the proposed appendix 1 to the collective bargaining agreement between the Petaluma City Elementary and Petaluma Joint Union High School Districts and the Petaluma Federation of Teachers be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on that? Steve, any?
Just, through the mediation process, we were able to settle the negotiations with teachers, and in your packet is the copy of the tentative agreement in Appendix 1, which includes all of the work done over the 4 months and the settlement on the few outstanding issues we had that went to mediation. It includes, of course, 180 school days and 185 days of pay for certificate of bargaining. Jess?
Well, I didn't have anything to compare and contrast to, because we just were given this, but are the only changes those two and the healthcare allowance?
So, right, we added back 8 days of pay, and we included in here is the district picking up the increase in health and welfare insurance from last year to this year. For the Kaiser High 2 plan, which is about 80% of their members are on that plan.
But those are the only changes?
Correct.
And I had a question about the procedures for evaluation. I know that there was a committee working on it, and do I read this correctly, that a process will be piloted this school year?
Right, we're piloting it, this time it's teacher's choice to be evaluated under the new or the existing model.
Okay.
And then, Kim, it's 2-year pilot, right? So it's this year and next that we're piloting it, with the expectation that not this spring, but the spring after, we will be negotiating language relative to evaluation.
Okay.
But that wasn't newly negotiated, I didn't know that, that was already in there.
That's already in there. I just was
Correct, that
curious.
was part of what we had agreed to last spring. That was not,
But I just had a question
Component
about the
mediation,
wording, just to make
yes.
sure I understood that, so.
Part of this was kind of confusing because you could tell, I mean, obviously, some of the dates are 6 months ago.
yes,
So
a
we
lot of
started
it,
doing these things.
a lot
So-
of, the vast majority of it was agreed to 6 months ago, and then a few elements on a tentative agreement that incorporated 4 elements, as I recall, were incorporated into this
So
document.
for anybody reading that at home, what you saw was a document that started, a negotiation that started 6-7 months ago, correct?
Yes, several months ago.
I only have, I just have 2 comments, and then I will open up to anybody else who might have some. Or really maybe even just one. And to a number of speakers' point, it's very difficult, obviously, when there's non-agreement, and phones ring, people come and they get all puffy, and they have some very relevant points and some that you kind of wonder about. But in the middle of negotiations, my stand that our negotiators, Steve and I, try to stay out of the middle of negotiating that individually, be it in the line of Petaluma Market, Safeway, or on the telephone. So a lot of it's just pure listening. I do have one comment that I would like to make, and that is to the Aries software system, whatever you want to call it. Change is hard, and in the business world, as I think those of us that are there will attest, some people like Excel, some people don't like Excel, some people like Word, some people don't like Word. To me, the more important and overriding point is this is important. As a parent, I'm actually very disappointed that we didn't push for this 2 years ago, because I find this to be incredibly helpful. And the folks that I've spoken to find this to be incredibly helpful, and I hope that we're able to. I appreciate you going over and doing the groundwork that you did, and I look forward to talking with you about that. But we need to figure out how to make this work, because this is important. So everybody's not going to get what they want, and somebody's not going to be happy about it, and somebody's going to think that there's a better system, and they're going to just be sure of it, and maybe there is, but at the end of the day, we'll all play on the same team, and we'll all figure out how to use the one we have, so we can all use it to the benefit of the kids, which is what this is really about. So this was the sticker for me. I just wanted to make sure that that although I tried to convey that to back on record, that this is very important. The other thing that I wanted to talk about real briefly was just to say, I understand the genesis of the flex day and whatever we're calling that, but we're not going to see that again next year.
Correct, we already have an agreement next year that there's 185 days, including 3 staff development days, 2 work days, and 180 school days.
Okay. Those were my comments. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
I would like to comment on, I had multiple conversations with parents who responded to feedback from teachers that they wanted to learn more about the process. And I enjoyed my conversations with the parents, and I appreciate them calling and being able to share with them how the whole thing works and you know, just how amazing our district is as a whole, and how I'm glad that everybody's working together, and they all were in agreement about what was best for their kids. So it was nice to hear.
I will add to that, that in getting out and talking with staff, that I've enjoyed getting to know more teachers and more staff. And I think it's a message I tried to convey is it's hard for me, being new to this board, that in the late hour of hot topics like this, whether it's the contract or it's a technology plan or it's something else, that once it gets this far, it's very, very nice to hear from teachers ahead of time. So I've really encouraged teachers. So far, I think every teacher I've talked to has not been on the agenda list and does not get the agendas. And so I've really encouraged them to not wait till contract time and come forward at a public meeting. Well, that is wonderful, and I'm glad they felt the courage in tough times to come forward and talk. But that I really do appreciate hearing from teachers at other times. I have never refused to meet with a teacher or any staff member, and that's still an open telephone, open door policy of mine. So be on the agenda list. And if there's something coming up at a meeting, even if you can't make it and you have a question or comment, let me know. It's helpful.
I guess I'd just close that by saying I completely agree. The trust piece, huge. Sorry to see this happen this time. Don't want it to happen again. I am not standing on top of something or falling backwards for anybody. to be caught, but I think we'll do whatever we can. Yeah, we're lucky to be where we're at. Let's get back to where we were. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Done. Moving on to business services, item 5, purchase order authorization. Recommend a motion that the enclosed list of purchase orders be approved in accordance with board policy 3314.
So moved.
Second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item 6, list of expenditures. Proposed motion that the board ratify the enclosed list of expenditures.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item 7, hold item, Petaluma City Elementary and Petaluma Joint Union High School District's Parcel Tax Citizens Oversight Committee. The recommended motion that the board appoint Maureen Lynch as the senior citizens representative to serve on the Petaluma City Elementary School and Petaluma Joint Union High School District's Parcel Tax Citizen Oversight Committees.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion on that?
Did you have, were there a lot of applicants or several applicants?
The position was opened, and it was open to the public, so anybody could apply. Maureen Lynch was the only one who came forward, and she was a viable candidate, and so we're putting her forth for your approval.
Excellent. It's nice to have somebody come forward.
Yeah. Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then item 8, resolution 1314-07. Recommend a motion that resolution 1314-07 of the Board of Education of Petaluma City Elementary and Petaluma Joint Union High School Districts appointment of member and alternate to Redwood Empire Schools Insurance Group be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
So the Redwood Empire Schools Insurance Group is our insurance for property and liability and workers' comp, and the superintendent and the chief business official are the voting representatives and the alternate respectively. And this is asking for your approval.
Okay. And so was Steve primary and you were alternate? Is that what I heard?
Yes,
Okay. And you've been doing that for a while, Steve, haven't you?
since 1992. Yes.
I would submit that Steve has the required experience. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I have items 9 through 16 as information. Is anybody any discussion or comment on those? No, then we're going to buzz right through them. Educational services, we've got, what do we got here? Information, minute, administrative regulation. Anybody want any discussion on that? Item 5, no. All right, Steve, I have 4 minutes before 7 o'clock. Do I have time to burn through the closed session?
Yes, go ahead and report out.
Because
Please
we're
do.
going to
Study session.
do a study session after this on something of high importance. So let's go ahead and hit item K, action on items discussed in closed session. So these are items that were brought to the board in closed session related to student disciplinary items. So there was a case presented. We'll take a vote on the recommended disposition of the case from administration. So I don't want you to think we're just guessing when we take these votes. We've actually heard the story behind all these cases, but in closed session. And this is going to be a long one, 3 pages. Case number 4, a case has been presented to the board that the student did commit an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. Prior disciplinary actions have been attempted or were not successful and/or due to the nature of the act, the presence of the pupil causes a continuing danger to the physical safety of the public and others. The recommended motion is for the board to support the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy to facilitate enrollment in a county-operated court and community school. Students' expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-14 school year. Conditions above, subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, life skills and/or anger management counseling program, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Moving on to case 5. Case has been presented to the board that the student did commit an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. The recommended motion is for the board to expel and to suspend the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy and to allow continued enrollment in a district school under mandated conditions. Student suspended expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, life skills, counseling program, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Case number 6, case has been presented to the board. The student who committed expellable acts as defined by the California Education Code. Prior disciplinary actions have been attempted, were not successful, and or due to the nature of the act, the presence of the pupil causes a continuing danger to the physical safety of the pupil and others. The recommended motion is for the board to support the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy and to facilitate enrollment in a district-operated community school. Students' expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, life skills, and or anger management counseling program, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Case 7, case has been presented to the board. The student who committed an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. Prior disciplinary actions have been attempted and were not successful, and or due to the nature of the act, the presence of the pupil causes a continuing danger to the physical safety of the pupil and others. The recommended motion is for the board to support site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy and to facilitate enrollment in a district-operated community day school. The student's expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, anger management, or life skills counseling program, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Case number 9, a case has been presented to the board that the student did commit an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. The recommended motion is for the board to expel and to suspend the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy and to allow continued enrollment in a district-operated school under mandated conditions. Student suspended expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, life skills counseling program, restitution, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Case number 10, a case has been presented to the board that the student did commit an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. The recommended motion is for the board to expel and to suspend the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance to board policy and to allow continued enrollment in a district-operated school under mandated conditions. Student suspended expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject, conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, substance use intervention counseling program, and substance screenings, restitution, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And the last case, case number 11, was presented to the board that a student did commit an expellable act as defined by the California Education Code. The recommended motion is for the board to expel and to suspend the site discipline team's recommendation for expulsion in accordance with board policy to allow continued enrollment in a district-operated school under mandated conditions. The student's suspended expulsion status will be in effect for the fall and spring semesters of the 2013-2014 school year. Conditions above subject to review with evidence of positive attendance, satisfactory behavior, substance use intervention counseling program, and substance screening, community service, and appropriate academic performance.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. That is an official buzzkill right there.
Yep.
All right, that was actions discussed in closed. Item, public report of action taken in closed session in accordance with government code. I guess that's really what that was. Only K and L, that's interesting. We didn't have any other items discussed in closed session, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Future business, calendar of activities. Next board meeting is going to be the 10th, 6 p.m. here.
6 p.m. and we will have the unaudited actuals.
No,
First interim, yeah, first interim, we're past September, December, first interim.
So we'll do some signing, and we're going to adjourn to a study session for agenda online.
Yes, so the next agenda will be
Hopefully,
online.
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 No binders.
No binders, everybody's sitting up here with laptops and iPads and tablets. And
Adjourn to a
Thank you all for coming.
study session. Thank you all.